So this is my diamond program, okay, which is based on powders really. So I start off with the dust, which is just like dust. There's hardly anything to it, so that's the dust. Then I have embossing powders, which I call pebbles, and you can see they're very fine, like salt. And then what I'm going to show you is the rocks, which is more like sugar. So big, thick, hang on. These are thicker granules, okay? It's like an ultra thick, and I just call it the rocks. So which colour would you like me to do of those?
Let's see. How about topaz?
Topaz, okay. So these are my new colours. All my other colours are really, really bright. Everything about me is bright, but these are they're black based, so they're absolutely gorgeous. They're just slightly different. I have shapes, but you can use chipboard or wood. And then I have a medium. This is a diamond medium, okay?
Yeah.
It comes in a dabber, it comes in a pad, and I'm just going to add this. Now this is a very slow drying embossing medium.
Yeah.
So it takes a while.
It gives you time to work and make decisions.
Exactly, yes. The reason I have a dabber is because you can see we need quite a bit on here. I've got a spare bit of the mat, but you could just use a piece of paper. Then you take the rocks and just throw it over the top. I've given you a nice big jar so you can get it back in there, because most powders come in really little flimsy jars and you can't get the stuff back in. So I'm just going to put the excess powder back in, and then I'm going to melt this, okay? I'm going to do 3 layers. Yeah. So your first layer looks terrible. It's lumpy bumpy, it's not much colour, it doesn't look great, but you need to keep your gun still. I see people doing this, and what they're actually doing is heating it, cooling it, heating it, cooling it.
I did not know
So
that.
you hold it still like this, and then once it starts to melt, then you move your gun. The first one is cold, so it always takes a little while on the first one. I think it's, can you see it's starting to melt now? And once it starts to melt, then you just move round and slowly melt it all. The first coat always takes the longest. And it doesn't look good. You know, I've been doing this for about 24 years and I'm in awe watching it go. So I've melted it, but by now this has gone cold. So once you've melted, you then go back with your gun and make sure it's warm everywhere, and then straight away you throw your second coat on the top. And the heat from that melted powder will, the powder will stick. Yes, and it'll look neater. So, because it's already warm. So third coat goes on, and then this time I'm just going to pop it to one side for a minute. So I'm just now this time this is hot and this is rubber. So I'm going to take the same medium but in the pad, and I'm just going to protect it, otherwise it could stick. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to melt my last layer. Again, it'll look so much nicer this time, and you can see the blue really coming through. Journals, because I have a clear as well, so they're stamped and then clear put on the top.
That is so gorgeous. It looks like ceramic mosaic.
Yes, it is. And I mean, I've made them into pendants before. You would make a hole before you. I would paint the back, make a hole with like a crocodile, and then you can wear them as well. So get that nice and hot, and then I'm going to take the stamp, I'm going to lay it on the top, and then I'm just going to gently press. I'm going to lift it off. It will stick slightly to the mat, so, and then you've got this debossed
Wow, that
look.
Is gorgeous.
And then you can either leave it just like that, or you can take some of the dust, and while it's still warm, Just be careful because it is hot.
Okay.
You don't want to get your fingers stuck in it, but while it's still warm, you can add in some dust. Okay, so we can add some in. I don't have to be neat, you'll see in a minute. And then I'm going to take a separate colour. Let's have some pink. So you can be precise or you can just brush colour on, whichever you prefer. And then the trick is to keep it in the right place. Take a soft brush, pounce it into place so it'll...
Oh, and it just all melts together.
And then you just, whoops, just brush off the excess. And then you could add stickles. You can see in these, this is topaz, you can see where I've added the stickles. You can add the stickles or you can just leave it like
gorgeous.
it is. Yeah,
Your
Ranger
favorite store
distributors.
At Ranger Distributors,
if you've
okay.
got a store that does Dylusions and does rate, you'll find them there.
Perfect. Thank you
pleasure,
so
darling.
much.
It's a
This was
pleasure.
beautiful.